England 2, Ukraine 0. A brilliant start to the qualifying campaign for Gareth Southgate and his men. A brilliant away win against the Italians, and then a comfortable home victory against the Ukrainians. It wasn't a scintillating game, but there was one standout performer, and that is the brilliant, the effervescent throughout the game, the unstoppable Bukayo Saka. What a display. What a performance. This young man, it just gets better and better. The chief creator in Harry Kane getting another England goal. Further, every time he scores now, breaking his own record. And then just an outstanding turn, puts the ball onto his left foot and then curls it eloquently into the top corner, sealing the points for England. The Ukraine had no answer after that point. It was very much it felt like a dead rubber of a game in the second half. England took their foot off the gas. They played within themselves. The England players all get anywhere between 6 to 8 days rest now, respectively, to when their clubs play in the Premier League next weekend. And they were just in reserve. There's going to be a very intense end to the Premier League season. But what a standout from Bukayo Saka. This young man now in an England shirt, 8 goals and 7 assists in 26 caps. And the goals and the assists and the outputs are now starting to come on board more and more as he progresses. So it took him a while to start scoring for England. But now as he's getting older, as he's progressing, as he's developing, those goals and those assists are starting to come. A fantastic World Cup we know he had. 3 goals out there and an assist. And then influential in the last 2 games in ensuring that England have a 100% record in qualifying for the next European Championships next year, in fact, is when they start. And this kid's just out of this world. Gooners, of course, love him. Gooners, of course, rave about him. But I've done this ever since the football terrace was a thing, and fans were reviewing football matches on YouTube and across social media. I've always wanted the English players at respective clubs to do well because I am an England fan. I support my country. I don't just jump on the England bandwagon when we're doing well. I'm not one of these weirdos on Twitter who pretends every day, no matter where they're from, where they're born, where they live, that they're not English. And then when England squads get picked, they have an opinion. When England play, they have an opinion. When England win, they're buzzing. I'm England every day when it comes to football. There's no doubt about it. And I want Bukayo Saka to do well. I want James Maddison to progress. I want Jack Grealish to be the best version of himself because I want all these players to one day hopefully win a major trophy for my country. And Bukayo Saka, we're talking about him today because he has to be a player that's in consideration for England's Player of the Year. He has to be looked at as one of the favourites to win the PFA Player of the Year, the Football Writers Player of the Year. He's been astounding all year. In an Arsenal shirt, he has been, for me, their best and most consistent player this season in their title charge, which currently has them 8 points clear at the top of the English Premier League. A feat and an achievement, even at this stage, which nobody predicted. Nobody did. Nobody was calling for it. Nobody said it. Even when you said they'd make top 4, you kind of got laughed at the start of the season. And now for England, he has become a linchpin, a cornerstone, such an integral piece of the team. He absolutely is. He's right now, barring Harry Kane and probably Pickford, he's the next guaranteed name on the team sheet. The goalkeeper, because Southgate likes stability, and whether you like Pickford club level or not, for England, he's been astounding. Harry Kane's the captain, so you know he's going to get picked. Then it's Saka. And I have to say, and I mean this genuinely, I think he's the best right-sided player we've had since David Beckham. The best since Beckham. Now, Beckham was a right midfield player, so a lot deeper. So statistically won't ever get as much as inside forwards like your Rashfords, Raheem Sterling's, Saka's should have. But in terms of the best player we've had on the right-hand side, the most consistent, the one with the high ceiling, the individual where there's complete trust, both going forward and defending, which you need at tournaments, Bukayo Saka has been the best we've produced since David Beckham. Some may say Raheem Sterling. But for me, Raheem Sterling has played some of it on the right and a fair amount of it on the left. And I always think he's better on the left-hand side. He's been good on the right, but for me, on the left-hand side is where sort of in my head I see Raheem Sterling. You may disagree, so I'd love to know. I'd love your thoughts. I'd love your feelings. Let us know in the comment sections below. But another scintillating afternoon of Bukayo Saka. The kid is truly unstoppable, world class. And listen, I've said it so many times, and Gooners always take this the wrong way. I know some don't have a sense of humor. A very small group of you don't have a sense of humor. I'm gutted that Arsenal were doing so well because I always had hope that one day maybe Man United could buy him. But the better Arsenal do, there is just no chance that he is leaving Arsenal Football Club. What a player and what a performance and goal from him today. Of course, Harry Kane got his goal, which he took very, very well. It was a good display again from the England captain, record goal scorer. Fair play to him. But I want to talk a bit about Jude Bellingham. I see a lot of people on the Bird app kind of get into him a little bit. He isn't this, he isn't that. Look, he's not a controller. He's not a controller of a game. People made this mistake by trying to force Pogba into that role. Does Pogba control the games? Can Pogba do this? Can Pogba do that? No, Paul Pogba should have always been on that left-hand side of a midfield with a relative free reign to be a creative outlet. Of course, get back into defensive positions when needed for shape, but he shouldn't have been the linchpin of defensive midfield duties and should never have been the guy that we were looking at to control the tempo of the midfield in the centre. That isn't his job. For me, that isn't Jude Bellingham either. He is a box-to-box midfielder who has an eye for flair and attacking and breaking and opening up lines and spaces for others. That's literally his job. And he's brilliant. At 19 years of age, this kid is sensational. He is sensational. And I get why Liverpool want him so much because they don't have that in midfield. I don't quite know how it's going to work for Liverpool as they often use their creative outlets down their wings. Maybe it's to add an option in the midfield to make it harder for teams to mark them and cancel them out of the game. Maybe they only start sending one wing back forward at a time, one up, one down. So there's always cover at the back. We will see. We will see if Liverpool even land in that. It's not likely. When it comes to Manchester City looking at Jude Bellingham, you think about Gundogan leaving, Bernardo Silva leaving. This kid is good enough to replace them. And you saw it again today in fits and starts. And I'm not expecting, by the way, Jude Bellingham to be the finished article at 19 years of age. He hasn't even yet played in one of the top two leagues in the world, which he will do at some point. He's either going Real Madrid or he's going to go to a top Premier League team in the summer, maybe next year. There's a lot to fine tune about him, but I understand why he's worth so much money. Highly skilled, massive, massive level of ability and ceiling. And then there's the commercial aspect. He is a starter for England. He's a good-looking lad. Commercial-wise, and people, again, will ignore that I've said commercial. That's worth a lot of money. If a player's worth a lot of money commercially, the price of the player will increase because you can't ignore the business element of transfer deals. If you just focus on ability or outputs or statistics and you ignore the commerciality, you're always going to be sitting there very confused and tweeting and looking rather stupid. So don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot and remember the commercial aspects. And Jude Bellingham has it in abundance. Absolute abundance. So, yeah, look, I thought it was a good performance from him today. Overall, England had no trouble at the back. Everybody defensively played well. They shut the Ukraine out every opportunity they could. They didn't do anything. They didn't lay a damn glove on us today, as far as I'm concerned. It was a consummate, easy performance. Everybody gets at least a 6 out of 10. And you probably can't put the team any higher than that because they didn't have to do anything. Didn't even have to work that hard to do it. The Ukraine were just not at the level of England today. It's as simple and as straightforward as that. But listen, I want your thoughts and I want your feelings and I want your comments below. But Bukayo Saka, unstoppable today. Another brilliant night for Jude Bellingham. England win again. Another goal for Harry Kane. On to the next one. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Smash the like button and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.